All right. Sorry, yawning. We are gonna keep working on our feathered friends story. If you already turned it in, that's okay. You can still do the parts. I can still check them. So that's fine. If you did not turn it in, that's fine too. So for today, let's go ahead and take a second and get Feathered Friend opened up.
Are we gonna listen to the story again?
No, I don't think we're gonna listen to it again.
I don't want to listen to it again.
We'll probably just talk about what happened in it instead of re-listening to the whole thing.
Wait, what is it? Is it Golden Dress, Charlie?
All right, so go ahead and take a couple minutes. Let's get this opened up, please. Feathered Friend.
What? I did? No.
All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a minute or two to get that opened up. I'll just keep checking. Take a second to get it open.
Are we finishing it today?
No, we are not going to finish it today.
Next week?
No.
What about this week?
Well, we have tomorrow still. All right, looks like a lot of you guys are getting it open. Or already have it open. Yoshi, get it open, please. Okay. Looks like you guys are pretty much there. So what we're gonna do today, we have 2 sections that we're gonna try and finish, possibly 3 if we get to them. If not, you will do 2 of them tomorrow instead of just 1. So we'll see. Before we get going though, we need to talk about what happened in the story first of all. So where is it set? Where's the setting of this story? Outer space. Do we know when it happened?
No.
Not really. It's science fiction. We can't say for sure if the author wanted it to be set super far in the future or not. So we don't necessarily know when it happens. Who is involved?
A bird.
A bird. What's the bird's name?
He's a bird.
Good. Clarabelle, the canary.
Sven.
Sven. How is Sven involved?
He's a small little guy.
He's a small little guy. What else? What happened with Sven?
He said there was a bird on the plane.
Yeah, the only reason the bird is on the spaceship is because Sven off the bird, right? What was the big problem? What was the big thing that happened? Clarabelle saved them. How? By passing out, basically, right? We know that on the spaceship, something froze on the outside, which caused their oxygen to be messed up, right? And Clarabelle the canary passed out, and everybody was like, "What the heck happened to Clarabelle?" And because of that, they were like, "Oh no, the oxygen stuff is failing. We need to fix this." So Clarabelle saved them. So that's essentially what happened in the story. So yeah, there's a little recap. Let's go to making meaning. Yesterday, we completed the concept vocabulary. You should have done that one with us. We also completed the first read chart. Should have completed the 4 boxes. Mine's not going to be done because it doesn't save my work, but you should have these 4 boxes completed, hopefully. If you missed it, the video is on Schoology, so you can always go watch it. And after the first read, I had you guys do the comprehension check on your own. These 5 questions should have been done in complete sentences. So if they are not in complete sentences, go back and do them in complete sentences. That is part of your grade. I will take a point away if you do not have complete sentences. Is that understood? Good. So, okay. So those are the 3 parts that we did yesterday. Hopefully you're done with them. If not, make sure you do those because I'm going to grade those over the weekend. We are going to skip the research today and skip the close read and go directly to analyze the text. So this is what we're doing. We're going to answer some questions about the text, all that stuff. Kind of analyze it a little bit deeper. Why was something happening? How did it happen? What conclusions can we make? That's the type of stuff we're going to talk about today. So please go ahead and open up the Analyze the Text section. I'll give you a second to get that open. Okay, Analyze the Text. Yoshi, guys, face forward, stop it. Okay. Yoshi, can you open up the thing that I asked you to open up? Okay. Analyze the text. So there are 1, 2, 3 questions here, but each one has a couple questions within the questions. So, morning, Kaylin. There's breakfast over here if you want it. Okay. So we're going to start with number 1. We're going to respond to these questions with complete sentences. That's kind of a big thing that we're going to be looking at now, complete sentences. Number 1, part A, says infer. How do the crew members feel about Clarabelle? So in general, they liked her. Why? Let's talk about why. Because give it some text evidence. Give me some information from the story that explains why they liked her.
They liked her because she was probably like really nice to them. Or like didn't cause problems with anyone.
Okay, so Clarabelle didn't cause any problems. And she didn't cause any problems. Yeah, face forward, be typing. When we do all these things together, it's quite frustrating when I go to grade them and then there's things not typed when I literally type all the answers for you on most of these. Yes?
What about the first one?
What what for?
As far as on the daily schedule.
Oh, there's changes to the schedule.
Wait, why is it shorter for you?
I have an appointment at 9:40-ish.
Today?
Yep. But it's here in Winslow, so it won't take long.
Is this that shot?
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a few minutes after we're done with this. So they liked Clarabelle because she didn't really cause any problems. Why else would they have liked her?
Because she's probably funny.
Well, she's a bird. I don't know how funny birds can be. I mean, actually, they can be kind of funny. But there's one major thing that maybe they would like her for.
Helping them from the gas place.
Yeah, she saved their lives.
Wait, but the question is the she is actually.
Yeah, I think she just passed out. I'm pretty sure Clarabelle did live after this.
Yeah, Lizzie.
Okay, so that's part A. We think that they liked her
Yes.
because she saved their lives, didn't cause any problems. Part B says, what would be, or what was the benefit of having a pet at the space station? What's a benefit of having a pet there?
Wait, what's the benefit?
What does benefit mean? Good question. Who
Well, I
knows?
know you know what it means.
I know. Yes, I know what it means, but I'm asking you guys. What does benefit
Does
mean?
it mean like the consequence?
Not a consequence.
Isn't it like,
Not about being boring.
isn't a benefit like an advantage kind of?
Yes, a benefit is a good thing. It's an advantage. So what is a good thing about having a pet at the space station?
You don't get lonely just talking to your buddies.
Okay, so
They
you
can do
don't get it?
experiments.
You can get what?
They can do experiments.
Yeah, they did kind of like a science experiment with having the pet on the space station, right? So you don't get as lonely. They were able to do a science experiment. Why else might it be awesome to have that pet? SCIENCE. ENCE. Yeah. I do write science up on the board. So there's a lot of reasons that you could have a pet. If you guys can think of another reason, feel free to write that one down too. You don't have to just write only. Yeah, you don't have to write just what I write. If you want to add more, feel free. Just make sure it's a complete sentence. No. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure that's torture. Yeah, it's too cold. They would freeze out there. Space is very cold, yes.
I thought there's no temperature in space. No wonder why no temperature.
Is that all we're writing for the first one?
Yeah, I think so. That should be all we need. Alrighty. Are we good on that one? Can I close it?
Anybody seen the movie Rocket Man where he flies to the Mars?
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it here just another minute, let people finish typing it out. And then we'll look at number 2.
This movie? I've never seen this movie. And it's so good. I go buy it.
No, I know.
No?
People are still typing.
I got it in the show. Why is it so nice?
Alright, about 30 more seconds and then we'll look at number 2. Nope. Nope. Alright, I'm just gonna scroll down a little bit. You can probably still see it.
And there's a monkey that takes this thing off so it's supposed to sleep for 8 months. And the monkey takes it, so he stays up all 8 months.
Oh my gosh.
And doesn't even sleep.
Alright, let's look at number 2. This one is about synthesizing, which means using all of the information to come up with an answer. So we're gonna, first, who's the narrator of the story? Who's talking in the story?
Jim?
Not Jim.
Clark?
Not Sven. What'd you say?
Clark?
Huh?
The bird.
No,
Wait, maybe it's just saying author is the Clark.
the author is Clark, yeah.
Clark.
The narrator is never actually identified in this, really. They don't tell us who the narrator is. They just keep saying, yeah, that happens. People grow old. The narrator is never really talked about in this, about who he is. Is the narrator like a random person, or is he like on the spaceship? Is he on the ground? What do you guys think?
I'm trying to find who is the narrator?
I mean, they don't really say, but it's from his point of view, so we have to figure out who he is.
I'm thinking
Good. I think Monty got it. From what we can tell, it's a crew member, someone that's in space with Sven and the bird and all of this stuff. So he's a crew member on the spaceship. But they never actually say who he is. No, because they mention Jim by name. They talk about Jim, go do this. So it's not the narrator. We actually don't know his name. You can close the first one, yeah. But so now that we know that the narrator is in space with them, we can answer the question. What events help the narrator figure out that something is wrong with the air? What helps them figure it out? This is part A. Clarabelle passes out. Does anything else help them figure it out?
The knowledge that other people use that kind of
Oh, good. The narrator?
in mind.
Yeah, the narrator knew that birds were used in mines.
Are you still narrator?
It's in the question. So the narrator knew that birds were used in mines to save people when the air quality was bad. Right? Because we talked about how when people would go mining for coal and stuff down in the mines, they would bring a bird, a canary, which would pass out if the air quality wasn't good, so they knew they needed to get out of the tunnels.
Well, they pretty much just left the bird there.
I'm pretty sure they would bring the bird with them. They would just be like, oh, the bird passed out. Let's get out of here. Grab the bird and go. Yeah. I'm sure that's not great for the birds overall, though. Okay. I'll give you about 30 more seconds, and then we will look at part B on that one. Jada, focus on ELA, please. Put it to the side.
Why is that kind of bird instead of another kind of bird?
I don't know. Maybe look that up.
Fly around like that. Like, what is it doing up in space? I'm not talking about in space, it's not talking about in the mind. I wonder if you can freeze a thing of meat in space.
All right. Let's look at part B. This time, this is going to kind of be your guys' opinion. I can't really say this for you guys. So it says, who is responsible for saving the crew's life? Is it Clarabelle or is it the narrator? Because we know that Clarabelle passes out, but then the narrator figures out why. So who really saved them? This is your opinion. So you need to decide who saves them. Your opinion. No, just the fact that you have an opinion. There's no right or wrong answer on this one. I just need you to give me your opinion. This person or this bird saved them because this. Okay? So make sure you have complete sentences again. Okay, so who saves them? Clarabelle or the narrator? And then please explain it. Don't just say, Clarabelle. I want an explanation. Why do you think that?
Miss Jones,
Yep,
what's that loud banging?
that would be Dallin.
Um,
Yeah. right, so finish up that one about your opinion. I'm going to take some attendance, make sure I got everybody here. All right. Looks like you guys are doing good on that. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one. Bless you. And then we are going to look at number 3. This one has 3 parts to it. Part A, B, and C. Huh? How?
There's a box.
That's true. All right. So let's start with part A. This one, we have an exact answer, or we need to find the exact answer. What causes the failure of the alarm that was intended to warn about the air quality? So we need to go back to our story. Huh? I don't really remember exactly. So we need to.
Wait, no, it wasn't. They had spent millions of dollars and the thing failed them. Now find it. Oh, it wasn't connected up to the thing yet. It says right here, the second alarm circuit isn't connected up yet.
Good. So in paragraph 23, Jim's assistant is like, yeah, that alarm isn't connected yet. So the second alarm isn't connected. What about the first alarm? What happened to the first alarm? The first alarm froze. Good. Overnight. Good. So their alarm system failed because the first one froze and the second one wasn't connected. They're supposed to have 2 as kind of a fail-safe of like, if one doesn't work, the other one will. But you got to have both connected for that to happen, right?
Now you need 3 of them.
Yep.
Birds were now kept running and the monkeys are back. It's called. I wonder what a monkey would be like on the balloon. I wonder if he tried to jump off the balloon.
That's not possible. The gravity will keep you there.
Can you jump off the balloon?
No, gravity will keep you close enough to. It just, you jump higher on the moon, but the gravity will still pull you back to the surface of the moon. Yep. Alrighty, let's look at part B. This time we're speculating and just kind of giving some general ideas. What could be some potential problems with using a canary, the bird, instead of an electric alarm system? What's some potential issues?
The bird can tell right away when there's like a gas leak or something.
That's a good thing, but we need the potential problems with using the canary. So that is a good thing. Yeah, but we need the bad side of it. Yeah, the bird could have died. So that's a potential problem. If they don't have an electric alarm system and they decide to use canary, what happens if the bird dies? Then they don't have any sort of system. What else is a problem with using a bird instead?
Probably like they run around and if they need it, it could be way somewhere.
Okay, so maybe like the bird could hide.
They should make space.
Bird could hide or be lost.
They do.
What?
Like they should make roads in space. They should try in space.
But we don't have enough people that go to space to need a road. Yeah. What else could be a problem with having the bird as your only system? You could break the. How could it break the oxygen tank? I know. I'm asking her. How could it break it? What do you mean?
The bird could have stopped something else.
Oh, like pecking at it, like The bird does bird things and break something. The bird could break something. Good.
I don't know where I saw this, but I remember seeing a picture of outer space, clouds all the way around it, but they were way out farther than Pluto.
I don't know. Any other problems you could think of? That having a bird as your alarm system might be a bad idea?
Something everywhere.
You have to clean up after the bird, yeah. You have to take care of the bird. Okay, so there could be a couple of issues with having the bird as the only electron or the only system instead of an electronic system.
What if it's the natural security system?
And then
Say someone who goes to Mars.
I'm sure we'll get to Mars eventually pretty soon. We'll
Never
see.
lived there?
I don't know about live there, but I mean like someone will
They should make a
probably land on
baseball
Mars.
song.
I don't know.
Baseball.
All right, and last part.
Do we have to put all that stuff you just put on there?
No.
Because I just want the confusing.
Okay. Part C. Again, this is kind of a your opinion. Which one do you think is more reliable? What does reliable mean?
Means more like you can rely on it.
You can trust it. So which one can you trust more? So this is your opinion again. Okay.
I'm thinking, I don't know why, because
Can you trust, well, the bird or the alarm? Can you trust the bird or the electronic alarm?
a bird.
Well, this is your opinion. Just write it down. Yep. So you need to do complete sentences. Give me your opinion. Can you trust the bird or the alarm more and why? Don't forget about the why, please.
I did.
Which one do you trust and why? So take a couple of minutes and finish up that section.
Which one did I have the last one out of?
I don't know. Kaylin, do you want the breakfast or no? We might have to split it later because both of you guys want it. So
No, I want my position. Yeah, he won.
okay, that's
It's
fine.
a fair game. It's so nice to win. It's Christmas on a Thursday. Huh? Christmas on a Thursday. Christmas is on. I wish Christmas was down.
Okay, about 30 more seconds. Finish up giving your opinion for me, please, and then we'll look at the next part that we're gonna do. Quickly.
You know something I wish for?
Hmm.
Christmas in the summer. Like Australia.
Well, they don't. Oh yeah, I guess they do. Yeah. But then you don't get a white Christmas with snow. I guess you guys don't get a white Christmas here anyway. It doesn't snow here, huh? Well, okay, let's go ahead and look at our next one. So we should have, at that point, you should have all of those done. Number 1, 2, and 3 for analyze the text. Okay, hopefully you finish those.
That was a lot.
The other one we're going to do today, it's probably where we're going to stop actually, is analyze, that's the wrong one, sorry, analyze, craft, and structure. We're going to talk about the theme and determining the theme of this. And we're going to answer some questions about it. We'll see how long it takes. But I will probably stop after this one. Okay, so go ahead and be opening up Analyze, Craft, and Structure. Give you guys about 30 seconds, and then we will get working on those ones. Okay. So let's talk about theme. What is a theme of a story? What does that mean?
The main part of the story, like the place.
No, that's the setting. A theme. What about if I click on it?
A theme.
Yep. What is a
The theme
theme?
is a general message.
Good. It's the message of the story.
The theme is like the place.
So that's the setting.
The setting.
Yeah. The setting is where it takes place, but the theme is more of the message that you get from the story. It can be expressed as a generalization, so like a general statement about human beings of like, don't trust people. That was kind of dark, but you know, be kind, things like that. Or sometimes it's like a very direct, like the theme of this story is this, right? I can't think of an example right now. But the theme is basically the message that you get from the story. So it says, the theme of a short story is the message or insight about life that it expresses. Sometimes the narrator states the theme directly, but more often the theme is implied or suggested by details in the text. To figure out the implied theme of a story, you need to look closely at the details, think about how they fit together, consider what the larger meaning is that they convey. To determine the theme of Feathered Friend, focus on the following elements. So we're going to look at the story's title. We're going to look at some of the characters' thoughts and feelings. We're going to look at the setting, when and where the story takes place. We're going to look at the knowledge and the insights that the characters gain in the course of the story. And then finally, the outcome of the conflict or the problem and how it affects the characters in the story. That's kind of a lot of things, but don't worry, the chart below kind of does it for us. So everybody that reads these stories can interpret the theme a little bit differently. So I might get something, the message that I get from the story might be different than what Charlie gets, which might be different than what Yoshi gets out of the story.
First, I thought it was on the moon.
Nope, just on a space station.
I know I didn't.
Yeah. So we basically just need to look at the details and come to a main idea of what the theme of the story is. So we're going to look at number 1 here. The diagram, when we open it up, lists key details from Feathered Friend that suggest a possible theme. We're going to consider and look at those details and then write down what we think the theme of the story is. Okay? So let's go ahead and open this one. They've already done quite a bit for us. We are just going to look at it and figure out the theme. So I'll give you a second to get that opened up. I'm going to take a drink of water. So
Is someone gonna take us outside?
that's up to them.
Who is it?
No, Mr. Turner's not here today. We'll talk about it after though, not in the middle of the lesson. We have plenty of time. So let's look at these details. The first one, the top one, says the station, the space station, has advanced systems to protect the air quality. Okay, so that's a very advanced technology that protects the air quality. Another key detail, one of the space station workers smuggles aboard a canary. So they bring a bird onto the thing. Then the final key detail is that that bird, the canary, alerts the men when the air quality gets dangerously bad. Why did the canary have to alert them? Why did it pass out, basically?
Because of the bad air quality.
The bad air quality, and why did they not know that the air quality was bad? What happened?
Because,
Passed out.
It passed out, but what? Why did it have to? The air quality wasn't protected because of why?
alarms don't protect anything.
The alarm didn't work, right? So these things all kind of connect to each other and have to do with that alarm failing, right? So we need to come up with a possible theme. I'm going to try and guide you in the right direction here because we're going to use it next week too. So I want to get the right theme out of this. What are your guys' thoughts though on it? What could the theme be?
Theme could be, Clarabelle passing out in the
It doesn't have to do with the events of the story. It's the overall message. What message?
That birds are good to take on a spaceship.
Okay, birds are good to take on a spaceship. Okay, I like that a little bit. Think about technology-wise. Go in the direction of technology.
You can depend on a bird better than a frozen because airplane.
Okay.
Because technology can fail you all the time. A bird will very rarely fail you.
Okay, you guys are both kind of on the right track. The theme that we kind of want to get out of this is that technology isn't always reliable. You can't always rely on technology. So it's not technically about the bird, right? The bird is an important part of this, but it's just showing us that we can't always rely on these high-tech technology things. Sometimes we need some low-tech stuff.
And he even said in the thing, millions and millions of dollars was lost because of that.
Yeah.
Like a dog, like can a dog use a pig? It's not using the dog.
I don't know what you just said.
I don't either.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a pig.
So sometimes those really high-tech electronics aren't always as good as the low-tech things that we need,
Like birds
like
and
birds.
dogs.
How so with dogs?
I don't know, they just alert you.
With what?
Bark. Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually a good example, okay? If you think about a dog at your house, you have, some people have alarm systems and like video cameras and all of that stuff that are looking for people that are potentially going to break into their house. But if they have a dog, sometimes that dog is way more reliable and it's just going to bark and alert them that someone's there versus like a little beeping of an alarm system, right?
Here's an example. Here's an actual example. It's not really protecting us so much as like a dog. So I really do it. And what it did was there was this raccoon that came on our back porch every night and was eating the dog food. What? Like eating dog food like popcorn. And you said like popcorn? Yeah, like popcorn. And so one night we just opened the thing and there's a raccoon and not see what that's it. She comes out, she tapped the thing, it rolled down the curb and like came up the tree.
Yeah.
So technically that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Alarm system said, oh, motion.
Yep. So sometimes these animals are better at detecting things. Sometimes, not always.
I know they made an electronic dog.
Yeah. Sometimes it depends on how your dog is trained or what type of dog they are. Some dogs, like Maddie said, will bark at anything. My dog will bark at literally nothing and just wants to lick someone. So he is an awful alarm system. It would not work.
I mean,
So it really depends on that dog, right?
I kind of think the dog that I have, I kind of think she won't because she does. Well, actually, I think she would attack them if they were going because she doesn't like being touched or hit.
Yeah.
And she'll bark, kind of stay back a little bit, and then she knows what to do.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know what to do.
So she's a little bit cautious of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
I'm trying to pet her and make her.
Yeah. Let's go to look at number 2 here. So we found and talked about the theme. I don't have an answer for you on that. I'm sorry. Reload your page, maybe. We found the possible theme that sometimes having high-tech technology isn't always the best, right? Yep. Number 2 talks about another theme that we could get from the story. And this one is that advanced technology sometimes leaves a void that people try to fill with companionship. What does that even mean? That's a lot of big words.
What's a void?
That is, a void is like a hole.
I remember what a void is. It's from Untitled with, you can make portals and stuff with room. You might go to
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so what they're talking about here is that advanced technology can sometimes like leave a space in your life that you need to fill up with companionship. Yeah, so when they say companionship, what do they mean?
They mean like a friend.
A friend, yeah. And Madi said loneliness. So advanced technology can kind of create some loneliness in you because you're just always on technology or something and you don't really have that
Alexa,
friendship and stuff.
Alexa listens to everything you say. She's not really a friend.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
So-
Alexa, I'm talking about
I know what you mean. Let's answer this question here. So we have this other idea that sometimes people just need companionship because technology just kind of leaves you lonely sometimes. So what supports that from this story? Think about the bird. How does this story support this? No, this story, not a different story. This story.
He was friends with Sven.
He was friends with Sven. So Sven brought Clarabelle aboard. So I wrote down that Sven brought Clarabelle on the spaceship because he wanted more companionship on a very high-tech place. Like, they're on a spaceship. There is a lot of really advanced technology there. And you're always working with the technology to make sure that your life is fine because you're in space. And if something that goes wrong, like it really goes wrong in space,
If you're gonna die in space, you're gonna make the fun out of it.
I guess. I mean, I would just rather not die in space.
No, I'm saying like in your ship, ran out of stuff and people weren't gonna make it to the end, you might as well just have as much fun as you can on that ship.
I guess so. Yeah. So Sven lives and works on this super high-tech place, and maybe he just needed something low-tech and fun to have around, so he brought Clarabelle.
Like you bring animals on the ship.
No, he probably was not supposed to.
Well, it helped them.
It did help him.
I'm sure they have. Well, like for a little bit, and then people came and got them.
All right.
People were like, "Okay, so you have to show," and stuff like that.
I'm going to go ahead and close this one and just scroll down a little bit because we've answered that one. We have one more that we're going to do. Okay, number 3. There's 2 questions here, A and B. Let's start with part A. What is the setting of Feathered Friend, this story? The setting is in space on a space station. Good. Nice and quick. They're in space on a space station. But it's a complete sentence. Yoshi, you typing? Yeah, I can tell. That's why I asked.
My favorite guys off of Crystal are the army guys.
Okay, so the setting is in space. Give you about 30 seconds to type that one out really quick. And then we'll get going. Jada, ELA, please. We're almost done. Keep focused. Okay. So let's look at part B, last question that we're going to do. It says, how does the setting, so being in space, how does that contribute to the themes that we just explored in question 1 and 2?
It says that it says that they are in space.
That's true. But think about our themes. What was the main concept behind the two themes that we talked about?
The birds are more reliable.
Then what?
No.
The technology. We talked a lot about how technology is really advanced. Why does being in space matter with technology? That's what it's kind of asking us. Good. So being in space matters to the theme.
Saying that technology is bad, it's good.
So something along the lines of being in space is important to the theme because they have to use a lot of high technology things to survive in space. Yeah.
How did they get that, like, oxygen and how did that hit?
They have filter systems on spaceships, so they pull in like the gases and stuff that are out in space and they filter it all out to create oxygen inside the spacecraft. High technology, high tech things.
Millions of dollars.
But that's why it was bad when on their spaceship in the story
That just shows
that it failed.
technology doesn't always work.
Yeah. So that's why it was bad that it failed because their filter system stopped filtering correctly and the gases in space that can kill you is what got inside their ship. Which was not good.
Is it natural gas in space?
Yes, natural gas, yeah.
It's just someone should try to plant a tree in space. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, it won't work.
Did you know throwing a bowling ball underwater is just like throwing a bowling ball?
That's cool.
I watched it on the video called Running Man.
Okay. So we are actually going to stop there. We don't have enough time to do another section. I'll leave that for tomorrow. So, yeah. When you're done, you can go ahead and close it. We don't need to turn it in just yet. You're going to do 2 more sections tomorrow. Before anybody leaves the meeting, if you're online, math today is going to be pushed back about a half hour. So I have an appointment in Winslow here, so it's just like right across town, at like 9:40ish. So I should be back by 10:30. So we'll just do math at 10:30 until 11. So we'll do a half hour, but it's basically we'll just do a quizzes at 10:30, and then you guys will do your assignment after that for today. But we'll do a quizzes, but that means that math is a little farther pushed back today. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're online, come to math at 10:30, please. All right.